it's just like a screensaver, you know. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll give you a countdown. Okay. So, just real quick. So, I've been sick, so I haven't been able to practice as much as I wanted. So I'm starting with the dagger because it makes all of our lives a lot easier. This is the weapon of choice in the game. You can do torch, but it's kind of silly. So we don't have to like go out of our way later and have to deal with a bunch of deaths to get the dagger. So I'm calling it a sick day, whatever. We're technically starting a couple of seconds after we would normally start, but whatever, we'll just do a countdown and it'll be fine. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Its reputation precedes it. It's one of a series of games that's crazy stupid hard. And my RNG is kind of all whacked out now because of setup issues and, adjusting stuff out. But basically, a lot of this game is dealing with RNG on the fly. And the first level in particular, where we're trying to deal with these zombies straight out of the gate, is very important to not losing your armor right away. So what we've done is we've gotten the green armor, and that's allowing our dagger to be a little bit more powerful. I apologize, do as much talking as I can. I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. Oh man, nice jump there. So we'll do what we can to explain everything that's going on here. But also, it's a tough game, so sometimes I can't talk as much as I'd like. Right here, we're gonna try to do a skip for a sequence here. There we go. All right, so what happens is we're gonna trigger a second tidal wave right there, so we don't have to wait as long. And coming up here, we got our first checkpoint, which is very important because that way, if I die, I don't have to go back to the beginning of the game. This is the rosebud section. Oh, we got good RNG on that rosebud that just spawned. Wait until after we went past it. Oh, jeez, okay. A little off on my jump there, so I hit my head. Got wrecked, it's okay. Who needs armor for a boss anyway? Alright, so coming up is the cockatrice. We'll see him twice, because in the GNG games you have to do 2 loops. A little bit of alternate strats here because I do now have armor. Normally, when you have armor, especially when you have the green armor, your weapon's a little bit more powerful, so you can kill him very quickly. We had to do a little bit alternate, but he still went down pretty fast. Alright. Stage 2. The good news is if you lose your armor in stage 1, it's not really a big deal because we're going to intentionally lose our armor here on stage 2. That's part of a deboost strat that we're going to do in just a little bit. For now, we're just going to jump around like a moron. Doing single jumps. You can double jump in this game. That's the new movement tech they added to this game. Double jumping, your second jump in the double jump is as slow as walking. But single jumps are actually a little bit faster. So we try to single jump as much as possible without finding ourselves in any sticky situations. But right there, yeah, we're going to boost up off of that chest. It's a mimic chest. We're just going to run around in our underpants for a little bit here over this mimic chest and down to the 3.5 minute auto scroller, which is super fun, not at all tedious, and hopefully I'll find some exciting things to say during this because it's actually a pretty boring part. Most of the game is all RNG, depending on what's going on. You have to react very quickly. In this section, it's pretty much always the same. The fish can kind of come out at a little bit different angles depending on where you're set up on the screen when you trigger their spawns. But for the most part, it's really not an issue as long as you pay attention. So I'm going to try really hard to pay attention because if I die here, we have to sit back through all of this junk, all of this 3.5 minutes of sitting on these logs, and floating, and dealing with fish. And we already have to do that twice in the run, so let's try not to do that anymore. We have primarily we're dealing with fish here. We have these little pea shooters that I'm trying to kill as they're off the screen. A lot of this game is lag reduction. Ooh, that was close. And not getting the wrong weapon. You see right there, that's the axe. That's arguably the worst weapon in the game. It has a real big loop to it, so you can't actually hit stuff that's right in front of you when you throw it, which is great, because oftentimes enemies end up right in front of you in this game. So it's we want to avoid that at all costs. Let's stick with our dagger. Okay. First loop, you can kind of get away with some of that stuff. These enemies are not quite as aggressive just yet. So we're able to get near the right side of the screen and just wail on the attack buttons. I do have 2 attack buttons that allows me to simulate mashing really fast without actually having to mash really fast. But these guys will actually turn around if we get past them, so we're trying to kill them as quickly as possible. Again, this is a Super Nintendo game, that's an early Super Nintendo game, so there's a lot of lag issues. Right now we're going to do a little bit of weird spawning of chests, so pay attention here real quick. Go down, then up, and then over. Get that green armor. Wait right here. Throw those 2. And what I've done here is the order in which you spawn chests in a stage, as well as your armor when you spawn a chest or when you open a chest, determines what's inside the chest. So I had to spawn those chests out of order. I actually spawned that right chest before the left chest, but I had to collect the left chest before the right chest, which is weird since we're, scrolling to the right. So there's a little bit of finagling those chest spawns there, but we got up to our gold armor, which is very important for this boss. Having the gold armor allows you to have magic powers, and it just so happens with the dagger that we have the ultimate magic power in the game, that being dragon magic, and you're going to see that here in just a few seconds. You guys don't hear the music, right? Okay, it's fantastically timed to the beat of the music. It's very impressive. All right, so this is Storm Caceres, and we're hopefully going to wreck him. There's one pattern he can give us where he will just say, "Hey, I'm shooting early," and then we have no recourse. But he did not do that. Oh, except I didn't charge the magic, like a dummy. There it is. Good. All right, quick enough. I let go just a hair early. Nice catch, of course, with that key just sitting in the water. You see a lot of that throughout the game. Alright, so this is where the game really starts to become a gauntlet. This is the cauldron stage. This first section where we have these little imps that fly after us. They can be real nasty customers, so we're gonna play it a little bit safe and hope that actually helps, because playing safe in this game is not necessarily what you want to do. Sometimes you just want to rush headlong, and other times you want to play safe. So you never really know which is the right play in a given situation either. It's kind of after the fact. Okay, that's good, actually. So we lost our shield there, but our shield causes us some slowdown. Every element on screen causes slowdown. So we don't really need our shield very much. The shield is used, to block guys like that from damaging us and costing us our armor. But, oh, geez. But also, back there, okay. We'll skip a couple of those platforms. I'll tell you about the shield in just a second when I don't die over there. Okay. Let me kill this red armor, or not kill him, but let me avoid this red armor first. Swoop it on down, buddy. Oh, I don't like what you're doing. Alright, so we're gonna get past him, and because we lost our armor, we're gonna take a little safety death here. Just jump on down here and see the timer switched over. That means we got our checkpoint. So that's something we like to do intentionally, so we get our armor refilled here, and we can just work back up to gold armor. All right, that was a bad bat spawn. So we'll just do it again. I put the lives up to 9 because it's a marathon, and we don't want to see as many game over screens. Normally, we just run with however many lives you want, really. 3, 2, 1, whatever. It's really hard to beat this game without dying at all. You jerk. That's not as big of a problem as it seems. We can respawn that platform, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, what chest am I on? Chest 1. Okay, so chest 4 is going to have my armor refill. We're just not going to be able to get gold armor between now and the end of the stage. Unless we die again, which I'm not going to try to do. But may happen because it's Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and that's how this game works. So we have 2 chest spawns so far. This section is really nasty with the bats. Normally, there's a max of 3 bats that can be on screen at a time. I say normally because I've seen as many as 7 on screen at one time. And at that point, the game basically runs like a slideshow. It's pretty crazy. Jeez, okay. So that's chest 3, I believe. And our next chest will be chest 4. Now, I don't think I'm going to stop and get it, because we're going to be going through what I call the Moblin Waterfall, where there's just a whole bunch of these moblins right there. And see, how did I kill him and he still killed me? That's a bunch of junk. What happens when you take a hit in this game, your projectile automatically despawns. It just goes away. So there's a little bit of, there's a few frames after you kill an enemy where their hitbox is still active. So it's real nasty in that way. But the good news is we can get our armor back. And the good news about that is we can do a quick kill if we have our armor. So hopefully we'll have that go our way this time. Don't be a weapon. Alright, good. Every 3rd pot drop from these enemies will be a weapon. Every 3rd, it's something like that. And we don't want any other weapon. We got the weapon we want for 95% of the game. At the very end, we have to get a special weapon in order to beat the game. But we save that until the very last stage, or the second to last stage, I guess, technically. So you'd think to yourself, I can still get that gold armor, but I can't, because the hitbox on that weapon is significantly larger than the hitbox on the armor. So we're just going to let it go, and we're not going to be able to do the quick kill on this boss, but it's alright, because we did not get a weapon we don't want. The bow has some redeeming qualities to it, but not for me. It's not a weapon that I care to use. But there's actually some cool glitches you can do with it. The problem is that once you do the glitch, you end up with no armor, and then you're stuck with the bow. So we're not going to go with that. But hopefully we can get a pretty quick kill on this boss all the same. Nice. Alright. Not too bad. That's Super GNG4. That's like the quintessential Super GNG experience, is like just struggling to get through a little section of the game that you can go through like really easily, or sometimes, you know, just give you a few extra bats and you just gotta deal with it. So now what we're gonna try to do in this stage is just get our gold armor back. I spawned an early chest that normally we just ignore if we have the proper armor, but we have to get up to the 3rd chest here. So just gives me a little bit easier time getting to that point. So this is chest 2. That's bad. Don't want to do this like this. Yeah, why not? Alright, so we got our gold. And now we're going to jump into these spikes. Nah, just kidding. I'm just playing. That's actually a little bit faster than going up the intended route and dealing with the slowdown. Yeah, the slowdown can very rarely work into your benefit, but it at least lets you know, if you played it enough, that that thing's probably not going to hit you. But hitboxes in this game tend to be a little bit larger than they appear, so you're not always safe. You can totally get it over these spikes without getting hit by that ball of green flame or whatever it is, but I'm playing it safe. We already had enough deaths, you know. Don't get trolled. Alright, good. I've seen those blue axe guys spawn right in my way when you jump down there. It's very rare, but there's nothing you can do if it happens. You just kind of shrug and say, oh, you got me, game. So, apologies to anyone who gets motion sickness. This is the Mode 7 extravaganza right here. Just rocking back and forth. Another auto-scroller, much shorter than the water stage, though. Oh boy, okay. A little bit of an issue with that steam, but we're all good now. On the first loop, the steam lasts for a pretty short amount of time. On the second loop, and then, which is basically expert difficulty, or not, whatever the difficulty names are. There's this difficulty, and then there's 2 levels higher than this. But every loop, the difficulty goes up by 1. So consequently, those steam vents and a whole other bunch of things that happen in the game can last a little bit longer, be a little bit more aggressive, go a little bit more often. But it's pretty easy here on the first loop. You just have to pay attention. There's a mode 7 glitch back a little ways that we avoided that can kind of put you inside of one of those steam vents, and you have nothing that you can do about it except lose your armor, and if you're very lucky, not fall off of the platform. So this is the Hydra. This is the lag boss of the game, because this Hydra is made out of like 21 different elements on screen. And so like I said earlier, every element on screen causes an amount of lag, but we just DPS him down as fast as possible, get our key, and I didn't hold up, so I didn't get a nice catch. Thank you, I appreciate that. Alright, so here we are on stage 5. Stage 5 is where things always go wrong, but it has really nice music. You're gonna have to take my word on it. Oh, okay. Okay, so we did not spawn the bad luck flower. So that's good. So when we jump over here, we're not gonna have the flower spit at us straight away. So we'll just jump over this guy. And we can just use our dragon magic that we still have, by virtue of having our gold armor with our dagger. Get rid of those 2 flowers. A little bit slower to do it that way, but way safer. I don't have to turn around here. I don't know. It's something I do just to entertain myself. I don't think it makes any difference at all. I don't think it changes my position or anything. It's just something to do when you play this game a whole bunch. So we gotta be careful about the shield knights. Obviously, we can't hit their shields, but we can hit them. I had forgotten in my practice that I can just kill this guy by using a dragon. I had been fighting him with daggers, which is really cool and all. It makes me feel like a boss, but it's a little bit less safe because he can swoop down and just sit on your head, and then you have nothing you can do about it. So fortunately, we were able to use the magic on that right armor. I think this is one of the few games where not even a boss from the game, but just like a random enemy type is way more well known than the main character in the game. Because everyone's familiar with those red armors, those suckers that come and give you the business all the time. But, like, you know, Arthur's just a dude. Like, you know, people probably know him as the dude with the underwear. That's probably about it. Ooh, okay. I thought I wasn't going to make that jump. I was a little bit early on it, but we got there. So let's see if this boss cooperates today. He can be a jerk. He is being a jerk. Yep. Alright. So unfortunately, he just does that freeze attack. He doesn't kill you. That's one of the few attacks in the game that doesn't straight up kill you. But he decided to run into me, so very rude. But we have a little backup strat that we can do here. So we're going to spawn this armor, get him going, and then get him to swoop to our left without hitting me, preferably. So go ahead, kill me, buddy. The little jig. He's a jerk. Alright, let's try that again. You want to get far away from them, but not so far that they don't swoop directly. There we go. Alright. So now we're going to do another D-boost here. With this buddy right over here. Nice. Alright, so what we have to do now is come over here, and once I get to the end of this platform, all of the red armors swooped off the screen. They went away because we triggered the boss section of the stage. So they just all disappeared. So we're just going to come and fight Astaroth with no armor. Which isn't so bad when we have the daggers. We can stay pretty far away. Just have to be mindful of the lasers. The lasers are no joke. And this is actually great because he will never come down this hill. He'll get to the edge of the hill, but he'll never come down the hill. So I can just stay back here, throw some daggers at him, like it's good, and he's dead. And now it's way easier to get my armor back on stage 7 here. I forgot which stage we're on. It's much easier to get my armor back on this stage than it was on the previous stage. So we kill that imp, drop down here so we despawn the other one. And now we're going to get this cockatrice head going a little bit. Borrow the platform for a second, but as you can see, we can't stay there. I got very lucky with that jump. That was not intentional, but it worked out. Nice. Alright. spawn this one, and then we're going to jump up past him, kill the blue imp, and make our way up here. There's a deceptively large hitbox on those cockatrice heads. You can actually jump over them, but I'm not doing it in a marathon, because I don't want to lose my armor any more than I already have. Alright, so we got our gold armor back. Really? Okay, usually I don't see the red armor on screen when I do that, so I set up the way I normally did, but I actually saw the edge of the screen on this monitor. So I just whiffed on them. That's pretty hilarious. Okay, so you gotta watch out for these pumpkin shots. They will destroy our armor if they hit us. Now we're in pretty good shape. Now we just have to make our way to the final 2 bosses of the first loop. One of whom is going to be very familiar because you just saw me fight him. Okay, so there goes Astaroth. This magic is super OP. Nice. Hey, watch out for the fire. Alright. So I lost my armor there. That kind of would have been nice in a way, because I still would have had to get armor back in loop 2, stage 1, but it's going to be so slow with this gold armor and the shield and everything. We're playing the US version just because the Super Nintendo is set up to use US cards only. So you get to actually read what this says. It takes 40 seconds longer. I forget. It takes longer to show you all the English text versus the Japanese text, but who cares? Basically, she's saying, thank you so much for coming and getting me, but you can't defeat the final boss without the MacGuffin. So we gotta go get the MacGuffin, which is the goddess bracelet. And she leaves it all over. When you can get it from any chest that will drop a weapon as long as you have gold armor. We're going to wait till the stage we just defeated to get it, because it's a really powerful weapon at close range, but you can only have one of them on screen and there's no magic with it, so we want to stick with this dagger for as long as possible. Oh god, you take so long on the US version. There we go. So this should all look very familiar. So like I said earlier, here on the second loop, the difficulty basically increments up 1, which I believe is, it's like expert difficulty or something like that. I forget the names of them. So anything that can shoot faster, more frequently. The enemies can move a little bit quicker. There can be more spawns of randomly spawning enemies. And coming up right here, these skulls, they can drop at a significantly faster rate. As you see there, they just drop basically back to back. So we have to be very careful about that so as to not lose our armor. But yeah, hey, we got through unscathed. Once again, we have to do these tidal waves. And here again, that triggers one, and then this pillar triggers one. So you get them triggered back to back, save a second or two. And back over to the rosebuds. Man, good RNG on both loops. How about that? It's a real minor thing, but it's the game's being polite, which is scary. That's the upgraded shield. We don't really care for that. If we get it, it's fine. If not, that's fine too. You jerk. You have 1 hit left too, don't you? 2 hits left. But again, because we're going into stage 2 where we do that D-boost, so it doesn't really matter to lose armor there. these axes are swinging a little bit faster here on loop 2. And here we go again. Everybody's favorite part of this game. Yeah. What's that? No, what it does is it kicks you back to stage 6. So you get through stage 7, and it says, hey, you don't have to worry about it. I don't know exactly what it says. I think the screen just fades out, but it kicks you back to stage 6. So it takes you back 2 stages, and gives you a chance to go get the weapon again. There's an enemy off screen that I like to kill there before I get this armor. Because I find if I have to deal with the chest, then that gives the guy an opportunity to start shooting at me. And then I end up not alive. So you see a lot of times, particularly in this section, where I'll be in midair shooting. And when you do a double jump in this game, it actually charges up your weapon. It's very difficult to see with the daggers since it's such a small sprite, but it actually does change colors a little bit. So like right here, if there's an enemy off screen, and I'm trying to charge up a dagger, it does 2 extra hit points of damage. I think normally the daggers, the steel armor do 6 damage, so they do 8 damage when charged up. And that's true for every weapon, they do more damage when charged up, except for the torch. The torch normally does 8, but when you charge it up, it actually does 2 less damage, because this game is a massive jerk. I don't think you can charge up the Goddess Bracelet projectile, though. The weirdest change to me between loop 1 and loop 2 is the boss damage values. So, I'll explain in a second after I set up these chests. So, it would stand to reason that from loop 1 to loop 2, the bosses would have a little bit more HP. But they have very little more HP. They have like 9 more hit points, which is basically 1.5 hits. So it's like such a weird change that they made. It's basically pointless that they made it. Oftentimes you're talking about 1 extra hit because you're either using magic or you're using a charged attack. So it's just so weird that they're like, well, we have to make the bosses more powerful. How much more powerful? I don't know, 1 more hit? Okay. Alright, so let's actually try to charge our magic properly this time. I had to make some differences between the 2 loops, just to try to keep things interesting, because, boy, when you grind this game and you have to do this stage 2nd, oh boy, it's just like, we're just gonna keep going, I don't care if the run's over already. I just don't want to play this stage anymore. Oh jeez, we got the bad pattern. Yeah, see how he just shot there? That's not a thing he's supposed to be able to do. And yet here we are. The explanation to everything in this game is that the game is a jerk. That's it. Whenever in doubt. There you go. That's bad. That'd be my phone. Who wants to run out to my car and feed the meter? I think I have enough time to do this run, at least. Yeah, we're on stage 3. It'll be fine. Yeah, exactly. The stakes have been raised like never before. Yeah, the flame that this fire bear shoots out is actually a little bit longer in each difficulty level, so it's a little bit more scary to dodge it on loop 2 than on loop 1. Good. I thought I shorted it. Alright, last time we had to do a little 1-2 step with this red armor. Not this time. Just blast him. Oh, you jerk. He didn't just drop a weapon, he dropped the axe. They're trying to let me know that they're out for me. Alright. Nice. That was very close. It's a catch-22 at this part too, because like I said, you want to be jumping as much as possible with your single jumps, but you can also find yourself in a real jam because of all these bats that spawn. So you don't want to be in a situation where, God forbid, you're double jumping too often, because once you double jump, you're fixed in on that trajectory until you land. So you got to be very careful through that part. It's all about decision making. That's definitely a part. Well, like I said earlier, you just want to go. You don't want to stop and try to be too safe. You just have to barrel through and hope for the best with the RNG. Very much like this part that's coming up here. This is last time was Moblin Waterfall. This is Moblin Niagara Falls, because they come down real fast sometimes here. Hello, buddy. Oh, you jerk! No, right off the edge. Yep. So you just have to time it out, and especially if you have the gold or green armor, you can kill them with 1 or 2 daggers, but your timing's just a little bit off. That would have been fine if we'd taken the hit and just landed on the edge. Would have been okay, but yeah. Really? That hit me. Okay. So let's see. Let's put this chest here. So that's chest 2. Oh, that's chest 3. What was I thinking? Chest 4 was on the next pillar. I got my numbers all mixed up. When you play this game enough, and you have stuff like this happen, you start to see the silver lining to all of the garbage that you're dealing with. And so when you die on this section, like, well, at least I got my armor. Yeah, exactly. You get your armor back, you get set up to get your gold armor, you get the boss quick kill, all that business. You know, obviously, if it was a PB attempt, it would be a whole different situation, but it's not, so we don't throw it out. It's a very daunting game to run for a marathon too, because there's just so much that can go wrong. I've dabbled a little bit in the other Ghouls games. The NES one is just hot trash. It's such a bad port. But I don't really like the arcade version of Ghosts and Goblins so much either. It's just not for me after playing the other 2. But, man, Ghouls and Ghosts for Mega Drive or for arcade is such a fun, fast-paced game. And this is so weird by comparison, because this is such a slower pace and in a lot of ways a harder game, because there's just a lot more that's randomized to it. The second loop in Ghouls and Ghosts is much easier compared to the second loop in this game. But hey, I talked enough to get us to the boss with the gold armor. So now, hopefully we'll do something cool here. You jerk! There it is. We didn't lose armor, so it's alright. We were very close to losing armor when that didn't work. Ooh, okay, he went left and right. So those axe armors can either go left or right or up and down. Oh, jeez. Okay. very lucky with this timing. Those hitbox on the spikes actually extend pretty far back behind the spikes, so it's really easy to think you jumped over them, and then, oops, you lost your armor when you landed. So I thought I might have done that there, but no, we're still good. Alright. It almost never happens, but like, of course, a marathon would be the time where that would happen there. Alright, so these steam vents will be active a little bit longer here. Or at least they can be, they don't have to be. Which is kind of the nasty thing that this game pulls on you. Like, yeah, it could be longer, but it's not necessarily going to be longer. So you have to make a judgment call how to handle stuff. Whether you want to assume it's going to be longer. So like, that was a short one. Now I have to adjust my plan here. And this imp's going to give me the business. See, he's still active, and he can swoop in a real nasty way. I think he's gone now, I think. Alright, good. We despawned one of those blueberries. They, if you leave them alone, they will explode and shoot out spores sometimes, and that's just real bad news. It's a very pie-themed stage. You got these cherry pie rides here, you got the blueberries up above, and the ones that expand out in the middle of the stage. They were hungry when they made this stage. Alright. I'm very happy, if nothing else, we had gold armor for the Hydra twice, because this fight is crazy stupid long if you don't have gold armor. The funny thing is, we don't even use the magic for this fight. It's really slower to use magic for this fight. So I guess green armor would be sufficient, but why have green when you can have gold? So I don't think anything happened in this stage last time until the boss. So I'm quite sure that this stage will rectify that this time around. Wow, did we not get the bad luck flower again? I don't believe that. I believe I misheard that. So there's a little sound cue that you can hear of an enemy spawning to let you know that you got the bad luck flower. Wow, really? Yeah, feel free to... you know, like, that's called the bad luck flower, that one that's directly below me that just shot a spore at me. Because he can shoot you out of midair and cost you your armor, cost you a life, you know, whatever. But I like when he spawns early because I can kill him off screen, sometimes get lucky with him not shooting, and then that reduces a little bit of lag for me. So with these ice snakes that are spawning on the ground, they have a pretty delayed hitbox, so you can kind of jump through them, but I am not trying to test that too terribly much here today. Because you never know when you're going to be a little bit behind. Oh, nice. Got a little 2 for 1 there. I just paused there for a second to get this to that big like shooting bear to shoot straight down, so that way I didn't have to worry about getting hit by him. Uh-oh. Alright. I didn't like how that jump was set up. Alright, so that's twice now we've made it through the stage without any issue. So I assume this guy's going to be a jerk again. He's not being the same sort of jerk, at least. Good, alright, cool. So we get to have gold armor going into stage 6. which is nice because we get to show off the two different ways of doing this. You saw the deboost last time when you don't have armor, and now you get to see just utter destruction of everything in this stage. With our dragon magic. When in doubt, dragon magic. This is a pretty cool hitbox for this enemy right here. This is right on the edge of the screen there, that red armor gets his. You want to kind of be set up like right on the edge of his toe, and there was like a pixel or two in between the two of us. So I was trying, like every time you stand up, he'll start moving. But if you stay crouched right in front of him, he won't move. Which we're hopefully going to use to our advantage here coming up. Because now we are on 2-7, which means it's time to get the Goddess Bracelet here very shortly. Which means, because this is about to pick up. I need to jump here to trigger this guy. Now, it's funny how this run bookends. Like, there's a lot that can go wrong in the intermediate portions of the run, but the beginning of the run where you get the dagger and the end of the run, or very near the end of the run coming up, using the Goddess Bracelet to kill Astaroth and Nebroth are really the two most critical parts of the run. So this could all go super sideways like this right here, you jerks. Do we want to give an attempt to this while naked? So let's talk very briefly about the advantages of having armor with this weapon. First of all, I have armor instead of nakedness, so I don't die when I get hit. But my projectile here on this Goddess Bracelet travels a greater distance when I have more highly upgraded armor, and that means that the percentage of time that the thing is out where it does maximum damage is increased. So we're going to try to do this naked, and if it works, this is great cause for celebration because this is a very difficult fight with armor, and instead we're doing it naked. Okay, hi buddy. No, I jumped right into it. I love that this ultimate weapon, this Goddess Bracelet, cannot shoot through walls. Even when you have the upgraded version of the different armors, it still does not shoot through walls. My daggers could do that, but hey, we have the ultimate weapon in the game. It can't shoot through walls. Okay, so we're going to use a strat that a runner called Cats on Your Head developed, where you give that guy a high five. You just drop that projectile on top of his head. He swoops right in, and right as he gets close to you, you high five him. Oh, why was that a neutral jump? This is just going great. You're just getting the full experience, folks. I'm alive. I did not foresee that. I realize I could have gotten steel armor back at least, which is marginally better. At least I could take a hit, but Alright, so I'm trying to be near him. See how I can stop him from moving? And then I can get his projectile to go downward. The these are all things I'm trying to do to make this fight less of the worst thing ever. Yeah, see how he shoots out like that? That's just super hazardous. No! He shot vertically, or not vertically, horizontally. But he didn't shoot down where I was. He shot where I was going to be. They have that technology. It's really weird. Sometimes they shoot where you are, and sometimes they shoot where you're going to be. So, it's, yeah, this game's a jerk. We'll just, like, actually keep armor, maybe this time, and then be done. I want you guys to die. I don't want to get with you. Alright. Did I despawn this one, too? I think I did. Alright, real quick jump here. Hey, buddy. See ya. It's never not satisfying to kill a red armor in any of the GNG games. They just have such spastic movement. Oh, so that's a cool thing that you may have just noticed right there. When I have gold armor, I can clear projectiles with my weapon. Which would have been really nice the last 2 times we were through here, if that was able to happen. I don't know why I'm jumping to the right. Oh, you, of course you did. Of course you did, you jerk. I'm really not. See, shut up that time. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Everything's fine. Nothing is ruined. Gotta be getting there, buddy. Alright, good. So, he's the harder of the two, but we're not done yet. The unfortunate thing here is that we're doing very little damage to him. It's like 16 damage at close range, down to 4 damage or 3 damage or something like that. But because we're naked and because the projectile goes a much lesser distance, we really have to be right next to him to do any significant damage. It is possible to run out of time. On this stage. I don't think that'll happen. I think I'll probably screw up before then. Those were 2 decent hits. That's like 16, 12, 8, 4, or something like that for the amount of damage you can do. So it's all about, at this point, just trying to be as careful as possible, which is much easier said than done. But the difference between Nebaroth, who we're fighting right now, and Astaroth, who we just fought, is that his flames are always shot at the same trajectory. They're always shot at that sort of downward, low angle, which means that I can always just pay attention to that and not get caught up too badly. And he doesn't shoot a laser that can home in on me. It's just a standard triple, huge laser like that. That looks a lot like a Freezy Pop. Or several Freezy Pops, I guess. But I'll take as much damage as I can get. I'm just trying to play super safe as possible at this point. The good news is, the final boss is significantly easier. Alright. So So he's a big sucker. This is Sardius, or I forget the other name that he goes by sometimes. And he immediately gives me a crappy pattern, so we'll just wait. Okay. He can do either a fast and medium or slow pattern. Fast and medium I can work with and get a ton of hits on him, like 8 or 9 hits. There's a medium pattern. Okay, we missed one, that's alright. Haven't we suffered enough, Sardius? End time is as soon as I lose control here, when you see him stand up. There it is. Yeah, died this time. Yeah. I don't want to know. That's Super G&G. So I don't want to know what you want to do stuff about. For like, I got Super Game Boy 2 for the next thing, but like I need to pop the tabs out if you want to use that, which I can do. But it's fine with me. I don't care. Well, the only problem is I have to use a Game Boy controller, right? Or a GameCube controller. Oh, cool. Then yeah, that's fine.
When he first met her, she's like, nah, with the bracelet. So what? That's what we call.
Y and X.